Hi, this is Mrs. Perry Ising, and I want to give you a tutorial on how to add music to your Final Cut project. So for our class, under our classwork tab, I have created a topic called music, and I have given you under that a list of music websites that we can use. You have to use royalty-free music websites in your project because if you use something that we don't have copyrights to, we could get sued, or if it's something that you put up on YouTube, you can get a copyright hit, and eventually, you don't make any money on YouTube if you get any copyright hits, right? So, um, these websites, you can do a simple Google search and just search up royalty-free music, and you'll come up with a number of websites. So I have here for you Pixabay, Ben Sound, and Silverman Sound, which are some pretty popular websites. So let me go into one of them. All right, so I like Silverman Sound because what I like about it is as you go through it, you could like just go through what they have defaulted on their homepage, but I like most of these websites do have where you can like pick what kind of genre you want to use. So like for example, let's say I want to use Bright. I like that it then takes you right to Bright songs. So like you could just test them out. All right, that's this one. Okay, so let's say I wanted to use this one. I would go to read more and download. And then usually there's a download button. So we would want to download the MP3. Okay, so I'm going to download the MP3. And in our classroom, it downloads right to the downloads computer. So then we have, not computer, downloads folder. So then we would have to put it into your own class folder. So let me minimize this for now. Let me bring up our Finder right here. All right, so it downloads into the downloads folder. So here it is right here. And I know that it's downloaded because it says it was today at 1:37 and now it's 1:38, so this must be my file. So it's in the downloads folder. So for the class, we want to get it into your own personal folder. So I'm going to hit Command N on the keyboard, N for new, to bring up a new window. And I'm using my period 5A class as the example here in this video. So I'm going to click on my period 5A folder, and you guys have your own separate folders. And I would take this song from here, and I would drag and drop it into my folder. Okay? So I'm going to replace what's in there already because I already did this once. All right, so there's this song in my folder right there. Okay, so now I would come into Final Cut and I would say File, Import, Media, and I would go into that folder. So yours says student where mine says teacher. Here's my period 5A. I'd find my folder. Here's my song, and I could listen to it here if I wanted to. I make sure that it's going into my existing event. So right now we're using our Bone Marrow Drive practice folder. I would say copy into the library, and then I would say move this over, and I would say import selected. And so here's my song right here. All right, and so now to get my song into my video, it's as simple as taking it and dragging and dropping it underneath my video clips. So there you have it. So now I would play it by hitting the space bar. And obviously we can't hear her speaking. So let me zoom in. So just like with our video clips, when we use this line here to raise our volume higher or lower, the song also has a volume line. So I can raise it higher or lower. All right, so that's one option. So probably if I wanted this song playing in the background of a video, I would lower it. You just want to hear the song faintly in the background. You don't want the song to overpower your video or excuse me, or so that you can't hear the people speaking. Another option that I can choose is, let's say I was using the song for some kind of an intro in my video. You see that little teardrop right there? If I rest my cursor on it, you see how I get this double-sided arrow surrounding that teardrop? If I drag that over to the right, what that does is that fades in my song. So let me backtrack out so you can see it. I'm going to bring my playhead back to the beginning and listen. Both of us are volunteering our time to help Carl. We hope the donations phase. So did you see how the song got louder as it was fading in? So obviously, I don't think I would use that in that situation because the woman's speaking right then and there. I would probably use that more like for some kind of an intro. So a lot of times on your videos, you see like a bunch of clips from the event playing to the beat of the music as an intro, and then it fades into the person speaking. So let me show you what I would do. Let's say I was going to make an intro for my entire video. Let me backtrack that out. All right, let me get rid of the B-roll here because we don't need it right now. Let me get rid of this transition. Let's say I was just going to use these clips, even get rid of that second one there. Okay, so let's say I'm using all of these clips as an intro. So these are not actually I'm not actually using them for an interview yet. I'm just using them as an intro. I'd want the clips to be changing to the beat of the music, and I don't want to hear the sound from the clips just yet. So what I could do is click on my song, And if I just want to solo out the song and just hear the song and not hear anything that's going on in these clips, I can come over here to the right to the headphones and click on the headphones here. And that grays out the rest of these clips so I could just focus on the song. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to the song. And as the song's playing, I want to listen for the beat of the music. And I want to use what's called the marker tool, represented by the letter M. As the song's playing, I'm going to hit the letter M on the keyboard so I can mark where the beats of the music are. So I'm going to press space and I'm going to hit the letter M, and you're going to see little tick marks on my song, which represent markers. Okay, so watch. So space, M, 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 M. Okay, so you can hear the music and you can mark the beats of the music. So you kind of heard that was an easy song to mark. So every time you got to a I put a marker. So if I was going to make an intro for this video, what would be a nice intro would be to resize this so it starts on this marker right here. I should have my snapping tool on so I can snap right to the marker. So let's snap that right to the marker there. Resize this one. Resize this one. See how you're starting to get the idea? And let me take the this tool off so that opens these up again. Let me lower the sound on all of these. I don't need these. It's just for an intro. Let me go grab some other B-roll from here that I can just use as part of this. Resize this. See, are you getting at what I'm doing here? Let's see. Grab that one. Okay. And so now let's say we get into the interview now. We get into the interview here. So let's listen and watch. This would be an intro. See how it's changing on the beat of the music? Oh, forgot to lower the sound on those. Go back. Okay, so she starts talking there. So what I could do is I could fade the music in at that point. I'm going to hold down the Option key. I'm going to move my cursor to right here before she starts. I'm going to hold down my Option key. You see that little black plus sign? I'm going to click one there. And I'm going to click one about right here. And when I have two of these little dots that I've just made, I can rest my cursor on this one. And I can move this down. Let's say move that down to here. And let me add one more. Option, one more. And now what I'm going to do is drag that line down in between the two of them. Drag that one up. Now I want to do the opposite of that. I want it to fade as she talks. So I'm going to drag this one down. All right, so move that back a little bit. So anyway, the Option and click gives you these dots. And then you can drag these dots up and down to make your music go, higher or lower. So that's a second way I can fade music in and out versus using this tool right here. So let's see how that sounds. Backtrack a little bit. See how it's fading? Now she's talking. Then I gotta play with it a little bit. It's a little bit too low. You can't hear, so I would bring that up a hair. So you want to hear that music in the background a little bit. So that's the use of the marker tool. Again, that's the letter M. And lastly, when I'm listening to sound to the whole thing, so when she starts talking or when music's playing, this brings us to this tool over here, which is a sound meter. I'm going to click on it, and it brings up the sound meters here. So my entire project, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to my sound. And my sound should average at -12 and peak at -6. So like a car backfiring or something would be a loud sound. That would be the peak at -6. So for the most part, when I'm listening to music and she's talking, I want it to average at -12. So now I'm going to play it and watch what happens over here. Play. See how that's going to -6? That means my song's a little bit loud, so I would have to lower that a hair. And get that, you want it to be really in between here, okay? And when she starts talking, she should also average here.
Both of us are volunteering our time to help.
Same thing, she's not bad. When you get too loud, it's going to go into the yellow and the red. You don't ever want it to get to the yellow. So let's say I put, and you can even see some yellow here. If I put this up, watch what happens over here.
Is a great success.
See the yellow and red? Don't want that. So you can kind of see over here, don't have any yellow and red over here, and you won't have any yellow and red over here. All right, so that's pretty much it. So just to review, you have to find a song first on one of those royalty-free websites. You have to say File, Import Media to bring the song in. Once the song's in, you'll find it in your browser, and you want to click on it and drag and drop it onto your timeline underneath your videos. If you want to have an intro like this, you would have to lower the sound on all of these. You listen to the song, you use the letter M to get these markers so you can see where your marks are that you want to drag and drop your video clips to start and stop them. And lastly, when the people are speaking and you have a song in there, you want to make sure you lower the volume so that you can actually hear them. You want to hear the song, but very faintly in the background. And then you want to keep your sound between -12 and -6. Okay?